How's our hats? Our hats looking good. Our hats on point. Yep, your hat's on
It's
point.
all full of Nashville sweat.
I think mine's
You
okay.
sweat because I sweat so much out there.
You,
Let me
you
switch
can't
that.
see it on here.
Let me
What
switch
is up, everybody? I'm Sonny Old School Flips,
You're Sunny Old School Flips.
and you got
I'm Jimmy Las Vegas,
you got Jimmy. What state are you in?
Colorado.
Jimmy. Well,
Jimmy,
Jimmy
Colorado.
Jimmy Colorado.
I like
Ooh,
Colorado
I
Jimmy better.
like that. Jimmy Colorado.
Jimmy CO.
It sounds like there's a story there that just been waiting to be told. Jimmy Colorado.
Sounds like a fat guy got lost in the Rocky Mountains, if you ask me.
And feeding off of Rocky Mountain oysters.
Terrible.
What's up, everybody? We are resellers amongst other titles that we like to carry around. Some titles we're told that we don't know what up to, but that's just the way life is. Gonna love them or hate them, and I'm glad you are here. That says a lot about your support, about who you are, what you enjoy, and hopefully even learn from us as well. Now, I've been busy, but not as busy as Jimmy as I feel. Not just physically, but he's getting some miles under his soles, and we'll get more into that in a second. Oh, we got Denise Thompson, new member.
Hey,
Denise, thank you so much for becoming a member. I was working on my video today. Stick 'em up, kids, is a new part of YouTube for me. Once you hit a certain point, start getting opportunities, is what Cali Luis reseller was telling me. Cali reseller Luis. I always get that one tongue tied. He said, "Hey man, when something's available that they're giving it to you, use it. You never know what doors that's going to open up to lead you to another door." And I've been doing it, and it's been a lot of fun. Seeing people being part of the Stick 'em Up Kids. So thank you very much. I am working on a video for it, and then I just seen the other day Rosie. Do you know her first name, Jimmy? Do you remember?
Crystal.
Crystal. She just became a member too. It was showing it highlighted a second ago, and then it kind of blimped off. Thank you everybody so much for even considering me to be part of a membership. It's only $1.99, and some perks come with it. But before that, we'll get into that later. Along with some news to catch Jimmy on. Up on When I was live with Christian, the chat actually inspired a conversation about reselling, which go figure, we are resellers, majority of us,
What?
and even collectors are coming inside, and that's good because we're kind of a little of both. We collect stuff until
What are
it
you
sells.
talking about?
Yeah, we collect it until it sells,
Yeah.
right? But some collectors have been trickling in, and I think that's good that other audiences are coming in and taking from it and participating in conversations. And with one of the big conversations that live left with is that we started a Natty Reseller Challenge, hashtag Natty Reseller. So Natty Reseller is a natural reseller who, not 100%, but for this challenge is you find something in your area, something that you are not going to steal from somebody, something that you find that grows naturally. And then Kyle was in the chat too. He'll probably pop in later, I hope, to credit him personally. He said, "What about rocks?" Well, I don't know how rocks grow, but I'm pretty sure they're natural. And
Hmm.
sometimes, how do you know when you're like over watering a rock? Can you waterboard a rock?
I don't know. I guess, I mean, eventually, like, if water drips on a rock long enough, it'll leave a little indention.
Ooh, ooh. Be
That's
mindful of rocks, folks. So yeah, that started the hashtag Natty Reseller Challenge, and you don't have to tag me in it, but it would be nice if you tag me in it or send photos of your finds and what you sell. And it could be acorns, say pine cones, tumbleweeds is one, and I found two tumbleweeds. I need to get them listed.
you're
And it's just
listing
amazing what
tumbleweeds.
people are selling tumbleweeds.
Hmm.
Yeah, and even of course seashells, I've seen them around, but we looked up online during the live, and some of them have sold for like nearly $3,000. Now you could only imagine what's not in say eBay, and that have sold physically to somebody. Like that. There's money to be made, and with money to be made, Derek brought up something with Sean, who had an amazing guest yesterday with Regina. They have, which is false advertising. I'll tell you right now, they call it the hum day, right? They got a hum day live, but I have still yet to see anybody hump. So there's some false advertising going, and I, I may have to lawyer up. You know what I mean? But
I mean, there are limitations of what you can do. I mean, you can do, I guess, do anything on YouTube, but
you can do
you might
anything
not
on
have
YouTube.
another video after that. So, I mean,
Maybe that's why OnlyFans came about.
be their last hump day show.
No, but they had a really good show, and Sean was talking about what she does. She sells jewelry, amongst other things, and with that, she mentioned something about her jewelry, her the business, what it's called. I forget the actual name, and there was 16,000 members who sell jewelry, right? And that made me curious about how much people are actually shopping. And I ended up looking then, and I looked up today, and there's an estimated nearly 3 billion sales to be made this year. Billion. And there are nearly 3 million people that had that opportunity. And 75% of them are adults who are actually shopping online for stuff. And it's not one particular place, it's a combination of everything. And I thought, like, that's pretty amazing when you're a reseller and you look at what you're doing, you think you don't have that much. Well, that might be a good thing because there's so much other people looking for it that don't even know half the time of what they want until they see it because they're just either bored or looking for something, want to spend some money for whatever reason. And then they just, hey, I like Jimmy's hat. Jimmy's, I don't even know what this is, but it means something to me. Or I may have heard about him and it sparks an interest and boom, cashola's on the way. And then you got to ship your stuff. Which reminds me about your hat, Jimmy. Cali reseller Luis did ask if he had any more hats. He wanted to buy one.
I do. I have like 3 of them left.
Oh,
But just if he is he here, just I'll message him.
We'll see him. He's probably working. He's a workaholic. Seriously, Jimmy, your turn. What has been going on the past 2 weeks with you?
So 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 3 days out of town. I took 2 days driving to Nashville and then the Crossville area. Hit the 127 with the Trash to Cash guys, with the listing and loafing guys. Mainly the listing and loafing guys. I got to hang out with Eric and Tim, and I also got to hang out with Chris, old school picker, a lot. The 127 was a little bit rough for me between the high prices was the biggest thing that I wasn't expecting. There was a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of stuff I wanted to buy, I just couldn't even negotiate down on. And I definitely gave it an effort. But I still did decent at the 127. Still found a couple really good items. And then I went up north to hang out with SSK Promo, who's in the chat, Ken, my co-host on the Reseller Clickbait podcast. And that Lincoln Highway byway sale up there in northern Ohio, middle of northern Ohio. Cleaned house up there.
Yeah, I saw I heard 2 stories about hats. One from the Trash to Cash podcast. If you haven't seen already, some really good questions and laughs. You're definitely gonna laugh. And one of them was Tim was talking about 800 and something hats.
Yeah, I was there when Chris, old school picker, bought it. My latest video. Yeah.
Oh, that's the one. I was thinking it was 2 different stories, but yeah, I just seen that video today. Was it today that you posted it? Yeah. And I was like, holy cajoles, hat dome Corollis. When they asked how much is it, and they're like 300, he was like, so. And I was like, could you have give Jimmy a chance to buy it? But that's the way it is. If you're not on it, you're not on it.
And it was actually good. Like I told him I wasn't because I was traveling. I didn't want that many hats, anyways. And what he did was amazing. Like he made that deal quick. He was on it. I was not. I wasn't, as they would say, I ain't mad at him. Like I just was not. I was like, good, man. And then he brought the hat guys in on the deal. He brought them in and let them be part of it and let them kind of help them move them and kind of pick what they want. So it was amazing. Like, and Chris is a hustler, man. Like he did that deal. You saw it right there. And more than anything, I was happy to have it on film.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I just caught this guy doing a deal. You know what I mean?
It was a quick deal too. And what made me chuckle, and I did chuckle, was when you told Sonia, like, Sonia, put everything down.
Yep.
And I was like, not what Sonia has in her hand. Like, at least let her hold on to that. Like, but it was that's how it was. And then I was even more shocked when the guy said, oh, this isn't it. I have other stuff and those boxes and those bags, and that comes with it. Like that was a hell of a deal. And
So
I was trying to get as close as I could, trying to figure out how to make the screen bigger, look at the hats. So if you're a hat collector, you could pretty much check out most of us. But I would say keep an eye on Chris's video to get up close views on them and reach out to him personally, if you want to buy several hats.
yeah, there was boxes that we didn't even break into. There was 3 boxes and 2 trash bags full of hats also that you couldn't even see in the video because we never even got to. Like he was just
Mhm.
like, let's do the deal. Man, but we had to rush after that video because it started pouring like torrential. So we were like, I wish I would have had it on video. We were scrambling to get all those hats under the tarp and stuff because it started. I'm not
Uh,
talking like a light rain, like it dumped on everything. And so we
this
were like
guy,
helping him cover up all his stuff, the guy that was selling, and we were putting the hats under the tarps. It's pretty crazy.
yeah, I bet I saw John Cincinnati Picker's video, and I could see like in the far end of the sky over there wherever he was at. It may not even have been at the 127, but there's rain coming around everywhere. I know Misha talking to her yesterday, that Texas is in a drought right now, and Vegas is the opposite. But last year, I remember Texas getting a lot of rain and Vegas not so much. But we've been getting like a record high of rain, which is good. And now I believe it's kind of traveling towards Arizona.
I just so when I drove back, I took my time driving back. I didn't want to hurry, so I stopped for 2 nights. Kansas was rain the entire state of Kansas. Like I just gray skies. I think there was a cloud the shape of Kansas right over Kansas. Like as
What
soon as
does
I
that
hit
look like?
Kansas,
What does Kansas?
well, as soon as I like my phone said, "Oh, you're crossing into Kansas," just rain. And then when I was leaving Kansas and going into Colorado, it stopped raining. It was just like can't, and that
Oh,
was
Kansas State looks like the image of a bobcat head.
square, yeah. So
It's their mascot.
it was like the most. So if you've already heard, it's not fun to drive through Kansas. It's just flat corn. It's like nothing. And then for the skies to be gray and it's just raining all day, it made for a pretty boring drive.
Yeah, I like long drives. I don't really get bored of them. I don't know what it is. I'm just somebody who could do it. Well, everybody, I don't want to get too far in without saying thank you to everybody coming in,
There's one.
highlighting your names as much as possible. But I try my best not to stop Jimmy from talking because it's just fun and entertaining
Jimmy.
hearing what I miss, and it's kind of I wish I could be there in person. But Jimmy, amongst a lot of other resellers who I know and people who I don't, had the opportunity to get out there support the 127. The people who are selling stuff for whatever the reasons, but they also got to link up, meet up, and do things like the Trash Cat podcast and be part of this what I call like a digital album. Back in the day, we used to all take photos, Polaroids, wait at Walmart for about an hour, and then we all got excited when it was like, wait, actually, it was longer than an hour. And then when it came to our photos, you're like, holy moly, and you're there waiting forever. Um, and this what it reminds me of the new age of digital albums is things like YouTube, Facebook, the social media platforms. You could have a collection of memories because you forget at times, but then you see this stuff and you're like, man, I've come a long way. I know 5 years ago when I started reselling and I sold my first item, I would have never thought I would be where I am today. And things changed because I wanted to change for the better, and it's happened. But it's happened a lot recently due to friends. Friends could really bring you up, and real friends will encourage you. They'll be honest with you, say what you need to correct, and not just sugarcoat things and say it's going to be all right. To tell somebody it's going to be all right, it's supportive, but it's not what people completely need to hear. In my opinion, you need to tell people how if they've already exhausted every effort of helping themselves. So, and I'm just glad people like myself, like Jimmy, many others, especially you here in the chat, the support goes a long way. Even just showing up is support to not feel alone. People say reselling could be lonely, and it is, but it's really not when you look at it. Don't focus on who's not there, focus on who is there. And I hope that sinks in more than anything. And we're just getting started. Here goes Sonny with all his mental big heartness. What's up, Yvonne? Got Joe inside the house. I did see a Meko V. For some reason, this reminds me, and I may be pronouncing it wrong, of my one of my soldiers that I had back in East Texas, in Hawaii, but he's from East Texas, West Texas, El Paso. Just for some reason, I get that vibe. A really cool vibe. We got May, Aloha Flips. May's out in Oahu, Hawaii. Got ATO Flippers. I'm gonna say it's Jasmine today, and maybe Derek's walking up behind her just now, or it could be the opposite way. Got Yvonne in the house. Jimmy introduced Ken right here, SSK promo. Got Cheryl, her and the gonna start pretty soon with more squirrels pop up. They're
Yeah.
gonna be the squirrel bandits. Her and Kristen and other people from around, and I wanna see more of Kristen, and maybe have this squirrel on here someday. Have them both together. Got Roman, new name. Thank you for coming in. Let me look. I'm just looking through here. We got Angel. Oh, a glimpse. When my side glimpse is because there's a lot of chat that I'm so slow on. Story of my life. We got my friend Omar. Omar, you're gonna have a garage sale this weekend, right? It's my amigo right here. Doesn't live too far from me. Also a reseller. One thing about him today that kind of reminded me. Well, somebody reminded me of Omar today, and that's gonna be Mikey Bags of Flips. He just came out the video where he went not dumpster diving, but looking for items on the curbside, and it reminded me of this guy right here. That you'd be amazed what you could find. I'm just very I just feel like it's my luck in a way, and a good thing that prevents me from getting in trouble. So I don't look at the curbside stuff. But I have pulled over when there's people there and asked, like, "Hey, are you throwing this?" But not so much when nobody's around. I don't want to get handcuffed again and get thrown into prison for like the fifth time of my life. I got some stories about prison that's pretty funny to me at least. So Jimmy,
Yeah.
on your way over there, you stayed there. Did you stay at somebody's place or did you rent a place?
So on the way over there, like driving there, I stopped. I just used hotels. I did stop in Nashville. I got to hang out with Ray, which he's in the chat. What's up, the Nashville Flippers, Ray? And we actually, it's a funny story. We did that hot chicken challenge, some spicy chicken. I kicked his butt, man. Apparently I don't have taste buds. That's what he says because
Like a
I'm
chicken?
like, it's not that hot. It's not that hot, and he's like over there like, it's hot. That's pretty funny.
Oh man, I can't believe that. And
It
I'm
was
gonna
awesome.
stereotype for him to be Hispanic too.
Watching
Not
a
take that spicy.
TikToker work is something to watch, man. Like I've watching him working
This
on
guy.
a TikTok video.
Ray is this guy, folks, for those who don't know.
That's a different kind of editing, a different kind of recording, everything. I learned a lot watching him. I'm slowly improving what I'm doing on TikTok. But yeah, just like it's just different. Everything about it is just so different. The way he records, he's talking because you don't have to worry about because he's gonna voice it over and stuff.
Hmm.
It's pretty interesting. And the way he'll pick something up and he's taking all the different angle shots and he's like, I'll edit it up later to where it looks perfect. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's very crisp. It's very clean. Something where it flows together and not choppy. And that's one thing. And I do have a degree in digital media, but you do. Some people have an eye for it and understand technology. I feel like I'm really good with the camera with photography. Which is more of a standstill or a candid photo. That's entirely different. But to edit something in a video format with things that are moving and not as still photos, it does take a little foresight of knowing what's going to happen next, which is one thing. Like I said, photography with candids is I love candids because you could kind of see in moments like how things are going to happen. Just like when you pick up a rack, you get that feeling. You grab a shirt and you're like, I know this is money, and you
Right.
follow through and ching, and you just love that feeling, and then you just are hooked on I could find that again. It's an addiction when it comes to reselling. It really is. And being organized is one thing. I didn't so much get in an argument with my wife right before she left to work, which that's probably her messaging me right now. But she's like, "Hey, babe, you're doing good, but you need to get organized because when we do have a kid, it's going to be an even bigger challenge, and I just don't want you going through these things where it's like I told you so." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna work even harder now, babe. I'm trying to find myself, folks. I know where I'm at, but I really need to step it up even more. And when you think you can, when you think you can't do something, you can't. You know, just like being here talking to Jimmy, people might think, well, if you would want to do that, you could stop what you're doing now and go do that and not be live. Well, this is part of me too, and part of other people who look forward to it. I know when I'm not on live, people are like, "Sonny, where you at?" They'll message me on Instagram or other platforms, and I'm like, "That's really nice," and I know where this is leading to, and it's led me to you. So it's an honor to be the way that I am and the way the community is. Like I get really sensitive towards people, especially when I know like there's meaning behind it and not just a waste of time because it's not my waste of time. And I never want people to feel that way. I want them to feel welcomed as much as I feel welcomed into things like this.
I mean,
Now,
talking
with
about being organized, like I know you're organized. I mean, the amount of work and content you're doing, and the way I mean, the amazing job you're doing growing your channel, that requires some kind of like organizing your footage, putting it together to make a video. That does, if you're not organized, that doesn't happen. I know you have to, because you have a ton of footage that you have to bring together into a video. You have to be organized. So I mean, and you're putting in the work, and it's paying off.
it is paying off. Yeah.
And I'm starting to get there too. I'm starting to have a little, but I'm also, I had to, when I told you, I had to organize the way I we'll go back to Ray. He told me I got to get an external hard drive. I still got to do that. But yeah.
Yvonne, no, I'm not fluent in Spanish. Not at all. I'm barely even Spanglish.
I don't know any Spanish.
You know the movie Spanglish.
So there we go.
Have you seen the movie Spanglish?
No, I haven't.
It's a good movie. Who's watched Spanglish? Really good movie.
Who's in Spanglish?
I almost failed Spanish. So when I ended up growing up seeing Cheech and Chong and Cheech singing about going to Spanish class and getting a D, I felt like he was talking to me. I wasn't trying to make that rhyme, but it did. What's up, Andy? ¿Cómo está, capare? Got the friend up in here, Andy. So Meta. I am May. I haven't, but I'm going to. I just got offered a commission work to do some photos for my wife's cousin's boyfriend or fiance. He has these the little Frenchies, the little dogs, and he breeds them. He's a professional breeder, and he was asking or talking about it while we were drinking a couple of weeks ago, and he's saying he needs help, and I'm like, "What do you need help on? Because this is what I don't see, and this is what you should do, how to promote it." And so he reached out to me just a few days ago and said, "Hey man, I want you to take some photos." So it's gonna be some easy work. Got the Kama Aina friend discount. He didn't ask for it, but it's just photos to me. Something to get me back into taking photos. I do want to start taking photos of my own to mesh, say, like the character of me and other characters, and put them in the photo and kind of have like a mesh of realism with my imagination and maybe print some out. So I've been wanting to do that for some time. Scott with the T, and I did miss up. If you didn't see the last video, there was a cup with a whole bunch of names that I was reading off and hoping people who view have that name as well. So Scott, I was like, oh, we got a Scott in here, chichinking, but that had two T's. That was not this Scott. And I hope there's not another chinking because there can be only one. I have a degree in Big Chief tablets and fist-sized crayons. Digital media has been a real learning curve for me.
Yeah, I mean, I always said I'm a fat-fingered mechanic that tried to figure all this stuff out.
Folks,
so it was a challenge.
Been following me long enough. What do I call my hands? What are some things I've called my hands?
I don't remember. So apparently I need to see Spanglish. Everybody's saying it's a good movie. All right. Adam Sandler. He's hit or miss for me. He's got some good ones. He's got some bad ones.
His recent one,
the
basketball one, that is an amazing one. I think that's going to be any one of his movies. It's so good. I wanted to watch it back to back. And I usually don't see that type of think that way of movies. I would like to see it again for popcorn and junk food and slushy purposes, but that's one where I could sit down and be like, don't bother me. I'm into this. It really touches you and captures you in a big way.
All right, I'm going to have to watch Spanglish.
Got to watch it. But
I guess I've heard of it. I didn't know he was in it or anything like that, though. Alrighty. Let me send myself a message. Put that on my calendar that I'll never get to.
May, I think it's on Netflix. I watched it probably about a month ago. I watched it by myself, and then I did watch it again a few days later when my wife asked about it. I was like, "You got to watch this," and she did. She enjoyed it, which is rare because I usually have a different. She's more of like lovey-dovey. I'm more of like action and a little gloomy, like underworld things like that. A little dark, a little Chronicles of Riddick, which I had. I wish they had another kind of show of them, but ooh, that's my stomach growling.
Do you like the movie The Crow then? You go
Yeah,
back.
I like movies like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
little dark, gloomy action.
So your YouTube channel is doing really good, and your Instagram and stuff. How's eBay doing?
eBay
Resellers.
last week was a little slow. This week, really good. I just had a really good sale yesterday, and I call this a really good sale. They're all great, but one of them I was kind of like, should I donate it? Should I not? And I found this at the flea market with Danny and Carrie, I think, and it's a prosthetic leg.
Oh
And
yeah.
I tried to actually look up who I could donate this to, and see what would be the best, like, I guess, emotional feel, like, hey, this is drawing me in and this is where I should go. But there was too much things of, we need you to do this, and where did it come from? Like, hey, accept it, and if it doesn't work for you, do what you feel is best for it. But
Right.
it just felt like a hassle trying to get information. I was like, I give up, and I finally listed it a week ago, which is probably about shy of a month now, and it sold. Somebody last night was like, hey, can you overnight this? And I said, it's lightweight, but I would recommend not overnighting it. Maybe priority to get there in 2 days rather than it one day. And I looked up online anyways to see, because some customers they'll, if they're gonna want it overnight, they will pay for it right there and then. You just got to adjust the settings, say on eBay, which is what I sold it on. And this prosthetic leg I got for, I'm gonna say $20, if that, because I got several items. It was a bundle deal, and it sold for full asking price of $399.
Gee,
And
nice.
shipping cost was $19. It wasn't bad. It fit right inside a large, the longer, narrower flat rate box,
Right.
not the smaller cubicle. And I always have those, and it worked perfectly. It fit inside there, and it only cost $5 more to ship it rather than the 19, because I was originally wanting to ship it FedEx. But this person was like, how fast can you ship it? And I was like, if you could pay for it tonight, I'll pack it tonight. Like, literally, I will pack it, and I will send it off first thing in the morning. So I woke up at 8, and I got to the post office right before it opened, and handed it to the front. I didn't just dump it off like I usually do with other things, because this is a little bit more towards somebody hoping their livelihood of, or somebody who they may know, that needs this to get around.
Collectors that collect that stuff too, though.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
they're really cool. I feel like it was more for them and not so much a collector.
okay.
I feel like most of the collectors I get, 90% of the time, maybe even more than that, 99% of the time, they're gonna try to, oh, that's a brick and mortar price, and nobody pays for that. They give me the story before, and this person just, hey, can you ship it overnight? I will pay for it right now. I feel like it was more for them to be used for what it's supposed to. So yeah, it was a pretty good sale. So keep your eyes on prosthetics, folks.
Yeah. I had a crazy good find today.
Tell us everything.
I didn't even know that it was worth that much. I found a VHS today sealed in the package, and it is a promotional Michael Jackson's Thriller VHS. Paid $1 for it.
One doll hair.
Yep. Last two solds were $299.99.
And they were sealed too.
Yep. I couldn't even believe it. I bought it because I was like, oh, it's got to be worth something. It was $1. It's sealed. Got home and looked at it. I was like, holy smokes.
So I think the first two people I that stand out, I think it was Miss Taffy, Candy Crew. She shared a video of one of her pricey videos of a VHS. And then I think second is who I got highlighted, Jasmine and Derek. I think they were the second ones, and I think you're the third ones. Other than that, I've just heard people say it in comments like, oh, I've sold this, but they have actually shown it and what they sold.
I just got today, but I mean, the sold comps are legit. Like, now people are trying to currently sell them for 500. So they're trying to price it way up.
What's up, Clifton? Clifton said, "No, that's a thriller."
I'm not going off. I still have this VHS I never sold. I have it listed too high, I guess. I still have that sucker.
So let
Paid 25 cents for it. I think I have it listed for like 500. Might be a little too high.
folks get your Halloween stuff listed right now. Get it listed. Last year I did really good. Omar Omex, the buddy I mentioned earlier, he had some peanut walkway lights, Halloween theme, like Charlie Brown, the peanut characters. And I got them all for $1, and the packages were sunburn, and I didn't know how much they were gonna cost. I thought $10. Halloween's coming up, and people weren't buying them until like 2 days before Halloween. And I'm like, man, get ready for a return. But they're also collectible, knowing that they're gonna work. They plug in little wall plug, and I think I got 5 of them, and they all sold for around $20 to $30. So not a bad flip. So
It's funny because today, with me and my son worked on nothing but Halloween stuff. Tomorrow we should finish up all the Halloween stuff and then start. Because I'm one of those people, I hold on to this stuff till close to the holiday. I know it doesn't matter, but that's what, since I have a death pile, I keep a separate death pile for holiday stuff.
whoa, you got 2 death piles?
I have a holiday death pile, so now we moved everything out of the side and we're pulling from the holiday death pile. I told myself as soon as I get back from the 127, we're working on it. So we got most of the Halloween stuff done today. We have a couple more things, and then we're going into the Christmas stuff. And that's just how I do it. Again, you don't have to. I know, and everybody says it sells all year round, and it does. But I have plenty of stuff to list during the rest of the year that I don't have to do that. We sold a VHS for $800 and what? ATO. That's crazy.
Got my brother Mikey Bags in the house. I seen him come in earlier, but we got our jibber jabber jaws going.
And I have blow molds for days, guys. I have too many blow molds.
Mikey's jokes are so funny. I just laugh with like his terminologies. My first part one video. My first part one video. The part one video of the flea market that we
one part video A.
A, B, shelf C, look behind the plush.
Video A, part one, my first video.
And Mikey's saying that he was undiagnosed with stuff. And I guess you can be undiagnosed with stuff after a while. But it was just funny when he said it, and I just laugh. It's so funny. They're not bad jokes. They're clever jokes that are just on the flip side.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I love a good dad style joke.
Me too. I got the dad bod, no kids, but if it works, you could fit in a medium shirt, wear it.
Medium.
You did meet Chris. How was that? Just popped up like a plushie out of nowhere.
Oh, Cajun?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was he surprised us big time. Like he knows what I'm saying when I say this. Like me and him have always joked around, like we're gonna meet each other one day. Like it's gonna happen. Because I've known him as long as I've known you, and like Ken, I've known him for years on social media and YouTube and stuff, just as long as I've known you. And we always would joke like, one day we're gonna get together, we're gonna meet up, it's gonna happen. And then he drove up there to Crossville and surprised us. And me and Ken were riding with. I don't know if I was driving. I think I let Sonya do a lot of driving in Crossville because I had drove for 12 days straight or whatever. So we were pulling up, and me and Ken see him, and I swear Sonya didn't even have a chance to park the car, and me and Ken were out the car. Like the car was still rolling while we jumped out, and man, we were like, "Chris is." I'm serious too. Like we couldn't even believe it.
And yeah, when I saw him in the Trash Cat podcast, I was like, "Oh, Chris is there."
Yeah, it was awesome, and he's funny. He's
so
cool.
Jonathan.
He rode with me and Eric and Sonya the next day at yard sales. He rode with us, and we were all just having a great time laughing. It was a blast. He made us die laughing. He said so. I'll tell the story. I haven't told this. I don't even told the story yet.
Tell us everything.
So I had a Mr. Good. So I had to use the restroom at a gas station, I always feel like I have to buy something. So I bought a Mr. Good bar, candy bar. And it's hot out there and it was starting to melt a little bit, right? So I put the Mr. Good bar in the AC vent to cool it down while we're
Genius.
driving. So after we went in, so we stopped and ate lunch, and we got back in the car and we're driving around, and me and Eric were talking about how hot it is out there. I don't remember exactly what we said, but it was hilarious. Like Eric said something about being, getting all hot. It's so hot, and I'm all. I don't remember. I'm gonna ruin it. But he's like, Chris, what did you say? What did he say? Oh, he said I'm getting overheated out here. He's like, I'm getting overheated out here in this in this Tennessee humidity. And Chris just goes, that Mr. Goodbar's getting overheated or whatever. And we both look over at the Mr. Goodbar in the vent. It's just melted and hanging down. The way he said it and the way I guess not as funny as a story, but me and Eric both looked at it, and that Goodbar was just like that.
It was overheated too.
Like we almost crashed because we both started. This is a terrible story. I apologize, but when it happened, it was hilarious.
I'm sure people could relate to it. What's up, Happy Kitty? I'm glad you figured it out. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know about YouTube Lives until a year ago, probably, or maybe a little longer than that. But when I discovered it and figured out how to get into them, I realized other people were ahead of me, and like Jimmy and other people there in live chats, and I was like, oh, this is a thing. I didn't know that. So you would only know if somebody mentioned it.
Lives are different.
If there's enough space for you to leave a dad joke for Ray, please, folks, share your dad jokes. And Ray, I think we're going to be on. I think I'm going to go live on Ray's this Sunday at 6:30. So if y'all folks want to join us, I don't know what the questions are, but if there are any sports questions, I'm going to be like.
Oh yeah, I saw that thumbnail. He made
I'm going to be a figure in the background, just quiet, because I don't know too much about sports. I just go for the action and drinks and junk food. Chris said, "Don't ask Jimmy for dad jokes." Speaking of dad, and you did mention your son earlier. It's pretty cool that you brought him in a video, and he's just like, "Hey, whatever."
Yeah, I mean,
ragging him a little bit.
He acts like he doesn't want to be in it, but he does. Yeah. I mean, like he doesn't hate it, and he's just got to get because he's hilarious. My son, both my kids are funny, but he's hilarious. Like he's a big jokester too. Ken, hey, it was funny in person, all right. No, and he would be a natural at this once he gets, he just got to get a little comfortable. He's still young. He's 18, but yeah, he's funny, and I want him to get into it. He's helping me with eBay. I'm like, I want you to help me with YouTube also. Like, I want you to help me help me grow this and learn this a little bit better, and social media.
Happy Kitty is asking if I helped Danni NICHE Lady move. There was a little bit of stuff I helped her on. No, I had some appointments going on. When she's needed help, has not been afraid to ask me. And if I could, I often say yes. And when I can't, yesterday was probably the only day I couldn't go yesterday. Had some appointments that we had to go to. I've told people in the past we're working on in vitro, getting some help from the higher ups, professionals to help us hopefully this time next year have our own kids. So that's what my business and priority was yesterday. But she's about done. She did message me saying she felt like she ran into the wall, but she ended up knocking it down. And we all go through stuff like that, especially when it comes to moving. You're invested in a house and you're leaving, and it's a good thing. But where she's at now, it's a really good place. I love her house. Jimmy's going to be able to see it when he comes down.
Yes.
Yeah. So if anybody else is coming to the Reseller Remix, folks, Boss Reseller Remix in October 11th is my birthday. That's the second day of the event, and I am going to have a get together here at my house. So hope y'all could make it. Probably going to get a little toasted, but I'm going to have a good time.
Toasty.
Yeah, I'm going to have quite a bit of beverages. Back when Jimmy was Uncle B, I remember that.
That was a long time ago.
That was.
I think that's so funny that Scott says that about not knowing. I mean, I didn't really know what YouTube lives were either for a while. I go way back to what was it when Every Day I'm Hustling and Pittsburgh had a show. That's the first live I ever watched. What was there? Ecom and Beyond. That's a long time ago. They haven't done a show.
Yeah, I remember that.
First time I saw live, and I was like, "What is happening? What's this?"
Oh, that's probably when I've learned about the lives, because that stands out big times. Ecom and Beyond.
Oh, that's great. I don't want to outshine Dad. He does. He will too. I'm telling you, he is a character. He's a goofball, man. He would put me to shame.
Did they rag on Kevin as much as they do on the videos? Like they do in person?
Yeah. I mean, when we were, but it was kind of Dave too. It was like they were all messing with each other. Like the way Dave plays pool, that's hilarious. So he holds a pool stick like a little kid, like this.
Mm.
He doesn't hold it like that. Yes, he said because when he was little, he couldn't put on the table. So as a kid, he learned to hold a pool cue like this, and so he was playing pool as an adult, going like. It was hilarious. And so everybody's just picking on each other. It was fun, man. They're all too funny. They really. I got to be on the podcast, on the Trashcast podcast, little interview.
Yeah, for the segment time too.
They went after me, and it was fun though. Like they gave me a hard time, and I literally told them, like, if you guys didn't give me a hard time, I would think you didn't like me, knowing how the podcast goes. Like,
yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. David, and the thing is, he's pretty good at pool playing that way too. So it's pretty fun. Toasty with Sonny, I'm there. Yeah, right. I am there actually.
Oh, we hope you make it, Scott. Is Melody coming too, or just by yourself? And it's been a while, Scott, since you've had a video coming out. So I'm assuming you are getting a lot of stuff listed, especially with the storage units you've been coming across. A lot of work ahead of you.
I have so much video to edit. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but it's good.
Yeah, it's fire. I did the one. I was like, I want to get the hat one done first because that was like an epic deal that he made, and I was like, I got to get that video out first.
Yeah, that. Whew, I can only say those probably. I'm going to assume those several hundred hats just on that tarp alone, and for $300, like easily one of those lines, whichever way you look at it, zigzag, slanted, bingo style, X marks the spot, like. A few of those hats alone would make up the $300.
Well, it was really cool because, like, it's all done. Most of it's done and over with. Like, we got me, Chris, Ken, Eric, Tim, and like our wives and stuff. We all got to watch Tim do that Whatnot auction live. Like, we were all in the room with him when he did the Whatnot auction on some of those hats, and to see him at work was amazing. That guy has way more energy than I do, and to see him, like, to see that transaction like unfold from the purchase to the Whatnot auction, it was pretty cool.
Oh, 4 days ago? I didn't see that. I noticed I haven't been getting alerts on some people, like John Cincinnati Picker. I had to go to his site. I was like, I haven't seen any videos, and I went, and it was from a few days ago, but I don't recall the alert because when I get alerts, I click on them right away, especially with my new service tablet. Like, the things pop up quick. So I've been able to get on as soon as something's dropped and it shoots out the alert, I'm able to get there before anybody else does for majority of things. So that's how much faster the tablet is. And editing, it's a saver. But I am having trouble with like the external memory on this. It's like the low end one, the memory. So I just got an external hard drive and using that. But it was kind of a headache the other day. It took me about an hour to figure out, how to have it read the external hard drive on a tablet. It doesn't pop up like on a computer where you see that slot come up like, hey, this is your external hard drive.
So your editing is going better though.
Way better, way smoother.
such a game
Uh,
changer when you figure
it
that.
is a game changer.
It's like, why did I let it get so bad, and why didn't I do something sooner? Right? I was in the same boat. That's why.
Yeah.
Once you get that all dialed in and squared away, like editing is fun again,
Hmm.
right? Because when the only because you went through a lot of stuff I went through. When you're freezing up and you lose the work you've done and you have to go back and do it again, then editing is not fun. It is zero. And as a mechanic, that was one of the things that you hated the most as a mechanic, when you would fix something and then you had to go back and do it again because somebody messed something up, or you forgot to forgot to put that first bolt in, put everything back together, and then you look down and that bolt is sitting in your tray and you have to take everything apart and do it again. So that's what it reminded me of. And so once you get that figured out and you're not dealing with that anymore, it is fun again.
Yeah. I still want to invest in the computer. I could add additional stuff to it, like a monitor to where it's bigger and not so tiny. My 41-year-old eyes right now, and having surgery on my right eye, like it's really hard at times to like see. Even just waking up with fresh eyes, sometimes it's crisp, clear, and then a few minutes later, it is really blurry, and it has nothing to do with like gunk in my eyes or anything. It's just my eyes are
Mhm.
have had some issues
Last
from
time I
being
went,
deployed and the dust from Iraq.
they used the B word, and I was like, nope. You
They
know
use
what?
B word.
You know what the B word is for
Bar-
glasses?
barnacles? Oh, bifocals?
Yeah, they wanted to give me bifocals, and I was like, I'm
The
not.
B
Wait,
word.
I'll come back when I'm 50. I was like,
I, I I tried bifocals, but they didn't work for me. Like having to switch glasses, and they're like, "Oh, we could get you the one that has both," and I'm like, No, I
and
should
so,
I should let my pride fall off of that and use them, but nah, I'm all right.
I mean, me too, because my prescription up until this last time always worked fine for both. I needed it for my farsightedness, but it also helped my nearsighted some. So it was fine. But then the last time, my last prescription that I did, I couldn't see up, like it blurred my close vision.
Hmm.
And so they're like, well, you need a new prescription to see a distance, but in order to be able to read up close, you're going to need bifocals. And I was like, nope.
Yeah, and then
So I have some blur going on.
my left eye isn't even my pupil isn't round. It's actually oval.
Oh, wow.
From my second deployment, we ended up getting mortared, and I fell off this $1 million unit, and I must have went unconscious for a few seconds. But years later, found out getting eye test. They're like, "Hey, your left pupil's oval. Did you ever fall?" And I'm like, the only significant time I can remember falling was that time, and I think that's when it happened. So the vision comes and goes, and it really doesn't help with glasses. It'll help my right eye, but I guess I shouldn't wear a lens on my left over my left eye.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. Reseller rowboat, welcome.
So, yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I had perfect vision most of my life. I swear, I joked that I blew out the candles on my 40th birthday, and my vision went out that right after I blew out those candles.
Hey, sacrifice when you make wishes.
All right, I didn't. I wished for something else, and they took my vision.
Do we buy our own boxes, folks? Everybody, this is for everybody. This question: where do you get your boxes from?
Yep,
Um,
their own
Jimmy, you
boxes.
go first. Where do you get your boxes from?
So I do have a local company that I use. I pay a little bit more than like if I used to use Staples. Staples used to be really good. Their prices went up, and they had some inventory problems. But Staples.com, and they'll deliver it right to your front door. That used to be great. I haven't checked it in a while, so maybe it's good again. They had some inventory issues, and their prices went up a little bit. So I have a local place, Denver Boxes, that I go pick them up. That's right down the street.
Mhm.
But yes, you should always. I've said it. I think I even did a video. You should always have boxes available for first class stuff, because the amount you can save on shipping is more than the box that you buy. You're talking a quarter or maybe a little bit more, because you're buying smaller boxes for first class. So yes, I actually keep quite a few boxes on my shelf that I bought, because I don't want. I also don't want to be scrambling. That's another thing of advice. I hate scrambling for a box when something big sells. So I keep some big boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have like Dan, the answer man, he gives me his old Amazon boxes. So I always keep boxes on hand because, and I always say, if you're going to list something big, make sure you have the box first. Don't list it and then scramble to find a box. That's my advice,
Yeah, I've been known to do that a handful of times, but I know that I have the box, right? I've learned my lesson one time where it's like, I'll get the box, I'll get the box, I'm gonna list this, and then it's like, oh shit, it's sold. Damn, I gotta go get the box,
though.
and it's the weekend, like on a Saturday, so you're like, it's Saturday night, and then you're like, oh, it's Sunday, and then you're like, wait, Sonny, your time frame is a day, which is 24 hours. So I go back and look at the time, and I'm like, oh man, I got to go to Lowe's and get a box. It's almost that 24-hour mark, and I don't want to get dinged. So after that feeling, I've made sure to have the boxes, and I pack them up. I don't completely tape them off because some people ask some questions about like, can you take a picture under something? Is there this one thing on there? And then if you completely pack it up, you know, you could end up having to ruin a good packed box. And then presentation is everything as well. And cutting in the boxes more than what you need to could take away from protecting them. So I have it enough to where if I got to pull it out, I'm okay. And it's okay to put a few more minutes into it. But I've learned my lesson that way. And one thing about us talking to, speaking of them, right here, right on the tip of my tongue, Kelly Louise Reseller. Luis, Jimmy says he has 3 hats left. So
Yeah, man. Just message me on Instagram. Message me where to. Message me where to send it.
Better prices are going to come from research. I have been finding some good prices from one particular person here locally on OfferUp. And his boxes are Uline boxes, and they're about half the price of what Uline is selling them for, and they are actually legitimate Uline boxes. So I would look for local, which I like that Jimmy said that support local, support
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, for sure.
your. It's a huge plus for companies, and the bigger they are, the more they could afford to be less if they want to. Smaller people tend to have what they say, oh, their prices are higher because they're smaller. They can't afford that big inventory, so uh, it
Yeah.
helps, especially when you are packing things correctly. It'll end up making up for it at the same time. I go back and forth from the guide here, offer up for Uline boxes because they're a deal, but there's some boxes, the size dimensions that I don't want to break down a box to make it smaller
Right.
or use a double box to make it bigger. So I'll end up either going to Lowe's, Home Depot, or even looking online. If I come across a good deal, I'm going to take advantage of it. But a lot of boxes you could get from USPS. They're free to get, they are not free to ship. And I remember when I was a newbie, people would say, "Oh, I could get those boxes for free. Why are you charging me shipping?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? They're free to get. They're not free to ship. There's a complete difference." So
it's a hard question to answer because you have to shop around. The best I could say is eBay does have boxes. They're not terribly priced, but if you shop around, you can find a little bit cheaper. You're not going to save a ton of money. So if you go to the eBay supply store, you can find smaller boxes there at a decent price. But like I compared Staples to that and I saved money. Now, again, I haven't checked Staples in a while. That's why I can't answer you exactly. Because now I've switched to my local place, who's a little bit cheaper than eBay also. And I can literally throw a rock and hit them. So I really like whenever I need a box, I just call them up. Hey, you got these boxes? And I run over there and get them. So that's the main reason because it's convenient and it's right there. But eBay isn't terrible. Their prices are not terrible. They're competitive. So that's the best answer I can give on that.
If you have a store too on eBay, they usually give you a discount code, which I need to use. I haven't used it yet, and I need more 8x7x5, I think, boxes. And this is another. Oh, Omar, thank you so much, amigo. Look at Tiden in la US Lomix. Omar, thank you so much for the membership. I appreciate you, bro, amigo. And I believe your garage sale is this weekend. So really good friendship with Omar. He hits me up with messages. Love seeing him in person. I do owe his kids some ice cream. Haven't seen them since. So I'm going to take them some ice cream. And I already told Omar and his wife, none for you, only for me and the kids, because my wife calls me a grown kid. So we're going to be sharing some ice cream on the weekend.
Hey, I'm not going to turn out.
Yeah. And yeah, you really got to look. That's one thing. One thing about trying to find something for most resellers, they become bargain shoppers.
Yeah.
So you really have to not only take advice from people, take it, see if it works for you, but also look around. Things change all the time when it comes to prices. Just like the things that you resell could go up in value, could go down in value. Some people have good judgment calls. Jimmy, I think you just said this. You're going to hold on to some stuff, for later. I think you were talking about that. But I know some things I've held on to and said, I think it's going to be worth more later. For
Yep.
whatever reason, I feel that. I don't think that about everything, but sometimes it works out to where it's like, let me go list this little Smashers Marvels toy that I got from Ross for $3. And I know it's not much right now, but I'm not going to sell it for $5 because then it's kind of like giving me my money back and it's wasted time. So I ended up saving this particular dozens of toys that I bought for $3 and waited about a year or two. And I'm like, hey, these Marvel movies are coming out. Let me see what it's going for. And boom, they're selling for like $35. So I've been able to sell these $3 items, waited a couple of years, and they sell for $20 to $35.
I just bought out a lady's Amazon, her extra Amazon inventory from, and we're talking toys that were like 7, 8 years old that she bought on clearance. They all had clearance tags on them.
What's up, Sal?
And I bought them out for her, from her. And I just sold. Have you heard of the annoying orange? It was a character. It was an orange with a human face that would talk and be.
Oh, I think I used that before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just sold one of those from that buyout for $70. It's not even that old of a toy, but it's because it's 7, 8 years old, and you can't find it anywhere like on Amazon or Walmart anymore. It shot up in value, and she was just a clearance shopper. So I wish I was a better clearance shopper. Go scoop up stuff like that on clearance, put it in a storage shed for 7 to 8 years, and then go back to it. And because again, all this stuff has been really good that I bought from her.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I want to get in storage units.
I'm bragging again because
Keep bragging. We love it.
What I do. That's what I'm all about. I'm joking. No, but
Jimmy is very. He doesn't brag.
I'm not humble at all. I don't believe in being humble.
Oh, so I'm not trying to poke what they call it.
You're going to do it. I want you to.
So a while back, right? Negativity. You shared something on Instagram that somebody said like, "Hey, you're off-putting." And just recently in your video, you brought that up again. And I'm like, this affected Jimmy. And it affected me too, because to know you personally, not just on these lives, I got to spend a few days with you and Sonia and really connected, like bonded. Like I've said before, it felt like we've known each other for years in a good way. Not one like, oh man, I feel like I've known this guy.
Here's this guy again.
Here's
number you don't want coming around.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's like, do people think when we record that we can share everything? If we did these videos that I share right now, like my last 2 videos, if I was able to share everything from that video, no cuts, no edits, no nothing, you would have like probably a 10-hour video.
Yeah.
Well, not 10, more like a 5-hour video, and you're not going to watch all of that. So we try not to bore you, because part of YouTube and sharing videos, after a while, you just want to clean up what you're doing and make it enjoyable and flow to where hopefully everybody watches to the end, because that helps us along with other things of what you're trying to do with videos. And a lot of people don't like watching teaching videos, but when you could try to mesh who you are, enjoy it, and what you're doing, along with talking to people, getting to know them, like we are, what am I thinking? Mikey Bags of Money. Mikey Bags of Money. He was joking around when we were there. He called us the Reseller Cartel. The Vegas crew, and it's something special. And then we talked about you and Kristen and other people who you're meeting up with out in that area, who are starting to see each other more often and sharing those experiences. Like there's a lot of footage to be sharing, but it's a lot of purpose and a lot of fun. And when people start making it bad, it really affects you when it's not you. It's okay to be called a liar, and
Right.
then take it in to be like, I wasn't lying, I made a mistake, and you own up to it. But to be called something you're not, it's really offensive because you're just basing off what you know and not looking at what you've gone through to get to where you're at, you know. And so it affected me too. So when I heard you said in your video, I was like, babe, did you hear this? And I had to tell her the story, and she was like, oh yeah, that's messed up. Why would they say that about Jimmy? Because she knows you too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
my wife knows you and knows Sonia, and it's just like, you're not off-putting, you're not disrespectful. Like right away, like how I am, and many of you are in your videos who share them that I've been able to catch up on. It's hi, hello, welcome, thank you, you know. But sometimes you're not thinking of that in a video to say, hey, I need to make it
I
a
mean,
point that I thank somebody because you know you did, you
I
know.
just I don't want to like challenge, but like anybody that's Shad, he just joined. Like when you put that GoPro on and you go to a yard sale, and it's different. Like it's not like
What's up, Eric?
until you're even at as many videos as I've recorded. I'm still not 100% comfortable with the GoPro on recording. I see eyes look over at it. I see people whisper, "Hey, he's wearing a camera." Like so, it's not the most comfortable thing, and it takes a lot to get used to it. And sometimes you're like literally thinking about should I make the deal and stuff like
Hey, just
that.
thanks for coming by.
And so I didn't. I know I like to joke around a little too much. I think and some people might not enjoy that about me. That's fine. Because I do. I want to joke around all the time, and sometimes I won't take things serious. But like, I thought about it for a second. I was like, do I not say thank you? Do I? I'm not. I wasn't raised saying a lot of ma'am and sir. I'll use it, but like it wasn't something that was like really, you know, I wasn't. I know, whatever. I wasn't brought up that way. I still say it, but not as much as I guess I should. I don't know, like. So it made me think about it when that comment came. Like,
Well,
am I
I,
not
I
doing that enough in the videos? Because like you said, when I met you and when I met Mikey, like and Kristen, like I try to be,
you're a good guy.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
you guys
You
are
are a
awesome.
great guy.
All
You're a
right.
great friend.
And
You're a great person.
so yeah, I made the comment in the video because I was like, I've been called off-putting and not very friendly. I'm working on it, is what I told the person. Like, I'm working on it, and then so yeah.
Do you use American Bubble Boy, Jimmy?
I do, yeah. So funny story though, because I do, and I have it delivered right to the door because I'm all about that deliver right to the door.
Yeah.
But Len 5280, he was like, "Oh, my work just gave me this, and it is like this giant roll of bubble wrap, and it's also tall. So it's like 5 feet tall, and it's this huge roll of bubble wrap that's gonna last me half a year. So I haven't ordered any in a while. He was like, I don't have room for it. And I was like, well, I got room in my garage for it. He's like, take it then. So,
So your next few orders, can you just redirect it to my address?
yeah, right. So yeah,
I don't have American Bubble Boy, but once I start getting paid from YouTube, I think I was telling Mikey that I'm gonna start investing, or Luis, I was telling this gentleman right here. I haven't been paid from YouTube yet. I've been making a little bit of money, nothing crazy, just a few $100, but it goes a long way to where it could support what I want to do to upgrade to just help me with my videos. Upgrading the StreamYard. If y'all recommend something better than StreamYard, let me know and I'll check it out. I'm definitely going to research it and not just take your word from it. That's one thing I wanted to say earlier about the boxes. Do your research. You know, there's things that change all the time. But with the money from YouTube, I just want to use it more to invest in me, which is investing on platforms and things that make it easier. Some sites where I'm not using YouTube library all the time for my background music, which I do get quite a bit of comments, positive comments, and people liking my music, and it's from YouTube, the music studio.
where are you gonna think about getting your music from to try to, obviously you don't want to get any, copyright or whatever. Where are you thinking about going?
I can't remember the name, but Mikey and ATL Flippers, Derek mentioned it when he was live on here, and I think it starts with an E. Mikey, if you could share it, or Derek, if you're still in the chat, the site that you use for music. I think they have other things as well, but I want to look at that. I want to just do the things not because it's something right now that I want to do. These are things I've been working on to progress, and as I've told people in the past, I try to make what I'm doing pay for itself and not keep taking out of my own pocket. So YouTube is gonna. I'm trying to make it to where it supports everything.
Epidemic
My
sound.
buys, my flea market ventures, the treasure hunts, giveaways, things like that. It's still out of my pocket. It's just everything from reselling is now just savings. And next year I want to kill it, but I'm doing good. I'm good, doing pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself and how good things are going. But it's only because of you all, to tell you the truth. With YouTube, it's
Yeah.
not about reselling. Just reselling. It's more of the support you get that makes a huge
I'm
difference.
amazed you've got that far, as off-putting as you are.
Yeah, you just
See,
gotta
there's the jokes that get me in trouble. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
don't listen to the haters. You're right, Clifton. But
Epidemic Sound is the name of the.
it's hard not to listen to haters when it's personal. Sometimes things don't bother you, it doesn't fade you, but then there's some things where it's like you don't know what people are dealing with and have dealt with and are still going through to make it feel like, oh, that wouldn't have bothered me, but we haven't lived the same lives to understand that.
Yeah.
And but I agree with you. Don't listen to haters, and I understand where you're coming from, but there's always more to these words that we say where it's like, no, they're right. People are going through stuff. That's why I like where I'm at in this community, and I say it often, whether I sound like a parrot or not. I love this community because I've never felt this way working for a company, and I'm about to make a full year full time reselling, and I've never had this freedom to just enjoy myself. And I like that the community is enjoying me for who I am, and that's a big thing for my life. From going from the way I grew up to the military to working armed security, basic security, working for the post office, and all types of jobs that I've had. This has been the most enjoyable, not the easiest, but it's been the one that's given me a lot more freedom to prove to myself like I could do this than I am doing it. What's up, Daniel?
Happy Kitty, yeah. Having trouble with the, being older and learning computer and phone stuff. It can be a challenge, and it's something that's, I have a friend locally that sells that has some challenges with that stuff, and so I have to remind myself, like, they have trouble listing as fast as I do. But there's options out there. There's companies that can help you with that kind of stuff, that can help, between virtual assistants, which means someone that does some of the computer work for you, or there's even, I don't know, like we have a local company called eBliss that they'll help you with shipping and stuff like that. I don't know a whole lot about exactly everything they do, but there's companies out there that can help you, and then literally just do the sourcing. But it all comes at a cost. But there's
Mhm.
options. It's just you know you're gonna have to take the time to sit down and try to teach yourself how to work through some of that listing stuff, because it's a big part of it, and it can be challenging. Sorry, I just saw them say that they're having trouble with their computer and stuff.
Yeah, no, all good, all good. Got to address people in the chat too. It's not about you all the time, Jimmy. Jeez, Jimmy is fabulous. As anybody who says anything different is a booger. It's so funny. Kristen says booger. Like I've been noticing, when she's upset about something or about people, she calls them boogers. So I've noticed that in her live with Ray that they had recently. I was like, she just call him a booger.
She is too awesome and too
And that,
fun.
that goes back to being what you said earlier. You don't say sir or ma'am or you do. But I grew up that way in Texas. But I've had so much people say, "Don't call me man, don't call me sir." And I
Yeah.
tell them I'm originally from Texas. That's how I grew up. Sorry douchebag. Take it for how it is. But I've also was taught like you open a door for a woman, you stand up at the table, and getting into the military when I did that, naturally, people look at me like, "Why are you standing up?" And they're like, "Oh, he's one of them younger fellers, like why is he doing that? He's dumb, or that's not what we do around here." So different cultures, different cultures.
Yeah, that's interesting that Mike said that he's enjoyed not recording, and sometimes I will put the camera down and just go into like just deep dive picking, like, and that's fun, and I agree totally. Sometimes you just want to put that camera down and not worry about getting the footage and just picking and having fun.
Yeah.
because it can get it kind of can take over your thoughts. The footage that you're getting and making sure you're recording it are people looking at you and are they going to ask questions about it? So yeah,
Yeah. What's
I
up,
get
Derek?
what's up, fundamentals.
What's up, Derek? Hey, great show yesterday. I was talking about it earlier. You, Regina, and Sean, really, really good. One thing I like about seeing other people and who they talk to and about their lives and not so much struggles, but their success of what they do to get there, and the naysayers. Sometimes people say stuff and it really sparks like a light bulb of like, yeah, we all try hard. We need to work hard, and if you don't work for it, what I took from Sean's talk with Derek and Regina, that getting to look at other people could help you self-reflect and learn how to forgive yourself too when you bump your head and you feel things are hard or not working. I say this, but I try to tell myself this too and practice what I preach is, look at the good what you've done. Don't just look at the hard parts and the upsetting parts. Like there's a lot of good people here who believe in you, who support you, whether they say it or not. They are there, and the numbers don't lie. I remember starting out on YouTube and begging for a view, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting views, and I'm like, wait, how much times did I go on the phone? Wait, those are my own views. And then it's like, oh crap, and then now I get a handful of views, and I'm just like, man, this is what I wanted. Okay, and now when you get what you want, what are you going to do with that? You always got to show appreciation. That's one of the biggest things, because I value people. And I felt like in the past working for other people, and this isn't for everybody. This isn't to say quit your job and you're gonna feel exactly like me, because who knows? Maybe next year it might not work out for me. Something might happen. I might run into something that I can't get over. I hope not, but you just never know. It's just the way life is, just randomness. But believe in yourself. Never stop. And I will say, go check out Derek and Regina's lives with people. They're fun, they're entertaining, and you get to learn some stuff from real people like this guy over here.
Where? Who's here? The dog is Tip here?
No, I said guy, not fur baby. Who's getting some love on here too? Tip has been getting a lot of love.
Awesome.
Yeah. See the yard sale event holders getting offended when one comes in with the camera. I haven't got that here. I've had people ask questions like, "Hey, is that a camera?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And before I could answer, like, "Do you want me to turn it off?" They're usually like, "Oh, what do you use it for?" And Jimmy had this in one of, I think, 2 videos or 3 videos ago,
Yep.
where it's like a handful of people, different people were like, "Is that a camera? Is that a camera?" And but there were none bad. They're like, "Oh, that's cool," and that's also a door that opens up to an opportunity to say, "Hey," which is what he did. "Yeah, I do YouTube videos. You should check it out." And they're like, "Oh yeah, whoa, what is it?" And they're looking on their phones right there and then. You got like a group of people, you know.
Yeah, I'm not
And
afraid. Yeah,
yeah.
But I had the one guy recently ask me to stop recording. I did a video on that. So he said,
Yeah,
and again, I'll stop, delete. I left a little bit of audio of him asking me to stop. That's it.
yeah. I mean, we are stepping into their property, their comfort zone, and if you're looking for something, you have to be respectful. It's always down to respect, and then after that, it's what you're trying to do. Your goals. You trying to find something or not?
Yep.
You gotta just be respectful.
Yep.
Happy Kitty 64, so much of
Yeah,
this
so
way over my head. Yeah, it's a lot of information. It really is. But the more you keep up with people and look at previous videos, things start to just come in a lot smoother and you start to understand a lot. That's exactly how I felt when I started reselling. I feel like there's just too much information for me. And then after around 6 months, it just a light bulb went on and things were like, wait, I didn't buy that because I didn't have this much money. And I know it sells for say $20, but now it's $2. This works for me. Things just start to are overwhelming at times, but once you just invest a little time to learn from others, it gets a lot easier, no matter what age you are.
Yep.
Doc Diggle in the house.
What's up? Yeah, like YouTube took me, and video editing and stuff, man. I never thought I'd get as far as I have either. I mean, I still got a lot to to learn on and improve, but
It's never ending
I
learning.
never thought I'd figure out editing and thumbnails and all that stuff and come pretty far. What's up, Tracy? What's up, Danny?
Yeah, Clifton. That's one thing people don't like. People don't like to change, but that's for other people to. Oh, if you're working for somebody, for me, my experience, what I'm thinking right now, all the companies I've worked for, I would do great. I would excel, and then along with being that type of person that I am, here's some additional stuff. But we can't pay you more because it's easy. You could do it. You do this other stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, why? Why am I the one having make changes while everybody else is working less and not
Yeah.
being taught to work as good as I am, because things could be taught. But if you have nothing, no repercussions, say for like you go to a store, you see all the carts on the side and these parking spots, and you're like, what's wrong with these people? And some of you in the chat may not be on the other end, might be like, I don't need to put this cart up. Like, how am I going to get in trouble? So that mindset of that cart not being put in its place, if there's no repercussions for not putting it where cart should go, you don't have to do it. It's your own mindset, and I wouldn't even say it's morals. It's just your own mindset of, if I don't put it back, it doesn't bother me. But some people are like, I'm going to put it back because they feel better,
Yep.
and there's a seed in their head where it's like, oh, you're bad for doing that. It's like, no, you're not. Just it sucks when they're taking up spots for, say, handicap or people you could find a closer parking spot, but it's not bad. And people hate changes, but change is inevitable. If you want to progress, I believe you have to change. Ladies and gents, oh my god, I see it in the other chat. Is this who I think it is? Tracy Parks
Oh, sure.
out of the chat retirement? Thank you for coming in, Tracy. I've missed you. And also Tommy, even though he's as Kristen would say, a booger. Every time I see you, I just want y'all to start your lives back up again. A lot of people do.
You know what the technology thing that it
Thank
is
you,
that
Eric.
that makes me feel old? Like the first thing where I'm like, I don't get this at all. I don't want to go into a long conversation about, but NFTs, like that.
I
That's the
throw my
thing
hand
that
up.
I'm just like, I don't understand it at all. And it was the first like technology thing that made me feel like, back when my parents didn't know how to set the clock on the VCR. That's how I feel with NFTs. Like I don't get it at all. I don't understand it. It makes me feel old.
You know, Tracy, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you, and I've missed you a lot. I really have. Um, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but maybe some other time. Eric, thank you so much for becoming a member, folks. I have started a membership here on YouTube. It's only $1.99 of doll hairs, and it just helps you get a little bit of perks of seeing some extra stuff, some things, emojis, some badges, just to show your own pride of this chat, and it's growing, and I appreciate it. And this person, like, I'm going to continue to give credit for a lot of things, especially like I do with Tracy and Tommy and other people when it pertains to what I'm talking about. He said, Sonny, do it. If people want to do it, they'll sign up for it. If they don't worry about it. And sure enough, I think I might be close to 15 members, in a week's time frame. So thank you so much. That means a lot to me. You do a lot of support, and I just want to give it back as I grow, and I have been, but I want to do more of it. And it's just been part of my I think part of my goals and dreams of wanting to give as much as I get, sometimes even more. It's just the kind of person I am. Got Dan in the house. Big Thrift Philly.
Big thrift. What sunsets? Tracy's been enjoying sunsets.
Must be nice. I hope you're enjoying your new home too. I know you've been in there a few months, but I hope you're enjoying it. Yard sales and dreams, Danielle. I really like editing my videos.
Yeah.
I like editing them. It's just for me, it takes a while. We get really nitpicky at certain things when we want things to look a certain way, and you would think like, well, you just cut sections off and look, but it got to flow in your own way. But your video of your son with the mullet competition, folks, you got to see the mullet competition if you haven't already. It's freaking epic. Jimmy's trying to grow out a back mullet, just a back mullet.
Yeah, it's That's all I can. Well, thanks for reminding me.
He just mumbled, man. What's up, Kyle?
For
We're talking about you earlier about the rocks. Let's do a little recap. Jimmy, what do you remember from the Natty Reseller hashtag Natty Reseller challenge?
Wait, what? Oh, about how I'm supposed to find something in Colorado that I can sell that grows natural. I'm in Colorado. I mean, that's
Something legal.
and that's not being grown naturally anymore. So,
Yeah, no.
I haven't thought about. We have the columbine. Isn't that like our? That's a flower, right? I don't know if they grow here well or not, but that's like our state flower or something like that.
Wait, I don't think you would be able to pull a state flower, right? Aren't they
I
protected?
don't know. The columbine. I'd have to look into that.
Columbine?
Yeah, there's isn't that a flower? Or am I wrong?
Isn't that a massacre?
Well, it's a high school, but yeah, I think that it's a columbine a flower, guys, or am I just way off? Let's look it up.
You go ahead, look it up.
Watch, I'm gonna be right.
Oh, Tracy missed me too. Not you, Jimmy, but me. That's nice, Tracy. You just made my night.
Yes.
Art and arcs.
Well,
I did find 2 tumbleweeds. I'm gonna get it listed soon, but it ended up raining. I left them in the backyard, so I need to let them dry out.
Wrong, I think. I don't
Which
know.
kind of helped because I'm gonna mold them a little because they a little flat from the day before.
Yeah, see? Columbine flower. Right there. Bam.
Oh, yeah. Now
That's what I was talking about.
is it protected or not?
Probably, yeah.
What are some other things around you?
Hey, listen, I'm a risk taker. I'll pick a columbine. I ain't scared.
It's
I don't know, like Kristen, what is something else that we could go find here in Colorado?
What are some things in your areas that grow naturally that won't get you in trouble for reselling? And that's part of the hashtag
Pine
Natty
cones.
Resell Challenge.
Pine cones.
Pine cones.
I see that when I walk my dog all the time.
Yeah, I there's some pine cones in the back too. Not my yard, but like in the golf course behind our yard.
Almost. I could sell snow and try to get it shipped there before it melts to Vegas. I don't know. I got nothing is what I'm trying to say. We don't have palm trees like this palm tree right here.
Yeah, palm trees. Oh
Yeah.
man, so HOA and was it HOA? No, the city was saying here about the whole water, right? I think a lot of places are hearing about like a water conservation, using less water. So Sisolak over here, I think the governor, whoever he is, said, "Hey, we need to start increasing efforts to save water." So HOA ended up some area here in Vegas said this HOA community was like, "Hey, we're gonna take these palm trees down. Out of all plants, palm trees, folks, they don't use much water, right? They're gonna take away these palm trees and charge that community $10,000 to remove them because the governor said we need to save water." It's like, out of all things, you're gonna get rid of palm trees. Those things, like Crystal Rosie's Closet told me a while back when I said, "Hey, my palm trees are dying." She was like, "Sonny, those are like desert plants. Like they're made for this. They use the least amount of water." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. You know, they're not like regular green plants that grow. They're definitely green. If they start turning yellow, they're probably drowning a little bit, but are drying up. So make sure to give them some water, but they don't need much." So I think
Yeah,
I'll
we're
leave my
part of that too, because the Colorado River and the snow cap melt off is a big thing here. We don't get enough snow that affects everything downstream all the way down to you guys. So,
I think Tracy's talking about your columbine. They are very pretty. They had them in the yard.
I knew I was kind of right. I mean, I didn't. I should say I thought I was right. Is that what I'm trying to say?
Mikey, there's different types of tumbleweeds. I was reading off the descriptions, and some of them are you just got to read them. I would definitely have a description. Use a very good description to sell it even better. But some of them are like $27, but some shipping cost was like $5, and I was like, no freaking way. You know, that it has to be like a 3 by 3 foot type of tumbleweed. And what protection do you have? Like you got to pack it up really good. So I'm gonna try to list the ones I have for a pretty good price. And if it sells, it sells. you know. But I do got some acorns. Maybe I'll throw in some acorns or some pine cones, you know, for free. Try to sell it that way.
Yeah, we don't have anything like. I mean, animals. I got a bunch of rabbits living in my front yard. I could ship them.
Did Andy say sell? That's illegal. Sell some homeless people. What's up, Jennifer? Welcome in,
We
Jennifer.
sell our blue skies. Because I'll tell you something. Every time I leave Colorado,
He said blue skies. I'm colorblind.
I'm sorry. Every time I leave Colorado and I come back, I forget how blue our skies are. It's not. I've never been anywhere that could compare to how blue our skies are.
Yo, Rocky Mountain Air.
Just can it up, huh?
Oh, you're fancy. Glass? I would glass it up. You know.
Glass it up.
Yeah, those little jars with the little metal tops. What are those called? I forget what they're called. There's a name for
jar. Like a mason jar?
Yeah, mason jar.
Yeah. Well, that's not very cost effective. I'm trying to make money, not lose.
No, but you could your own price, you know?
Ziploc bag is good enough for me.
Ziploc. Are you going to use bubble wrap?
Yeah. Fill bubble wrap with Colorado Air. Oh,
and you're going to have different sizes to choose from?
That's a good one, Tracy. The water from the tap. The water from the tap here, not only is it good, it comes out really cold. That's a great one, Tracy.
Wait, it comes out really cold. Folks, do any of y'all have water that comes out really hot?
Arizona. I lived in Arizona for 22 years. The water in Arizona, yeah, it's not cold at all. It does not come out cold. It comes out warm. And the water, so for me, it was a big deal when I moved here, how cold the water on cold side, how cold it gets.
So easy.
In Arizona, you turn on the cold and it's like, it never gets cold. It just stays room temperature or warm.
Oh, I did get a comment speaking of Natty Reseller. What was that? I need to go back and see it because I put it on there. Go ahead, Jimmy. I need to find this information.
What are you looking up? Look at his hat, guys. Look at how white and crisp that hat is.
It is not
crispy.
There are some smudges. In one of my videos from Lowe's, getting some boxes.
He just needed an excuse to show off his hair. It was like, it's not that crispy.
Yeah, I'm surprised Ray didn't ask me to like do my hair thing.
No, but I agree because I drank some water in Ohio. Sorry, Ken. The water in Ohio was not nearly. Although I think they might have had a softener at that cabin, a water softener, so that helped. But Arizona, the water came out looking like watered down milk. That was awful.
Oh, it was on Instagram, the spare closet. She said, can she bottle up dirt and market it as a dormant dust devil? Be creative, folks. If it's natural.
Right? That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Put a picture of Taz on the bag. You're good to go. I had an amazing. Oh, I don't want to brag too much, but today was a really good day in sales.
They're really good. I've got some. I've accepted some offers now that I'm on List Perfectly. I've gotten quite a bit of things sold that was on eBay for a long time, within a few days. So it's been pretty good. But I'm waiting on a handful of offers that I got today from Depop. I think it was I'm waiting for Mercari, the second payment to come through. Sold a polo hat that I got for I got 3 of them. 2 polo hats are vintage. One of them sold for 130, and that sold on Mercari within a few days of listing. But I've had it on eBay for about 2 months, so really good monies.
Yeah, I sold something that I've had forever, that I've had listed for a lot.
Garage Sale Nation pumpkin stem cell, which reminds me, somebody also left another comment on a YouTube video that their dad used to sell, chewed up beaver sticks. Like literally, beavers used to chew on the sticks, and he would sell those sticks that beavers would chew on.
That makes sense.
But why?
Where in the country are pumpkins grown the most? Because I have no clue.
We have pumpkins here.
Yeah, I mean, we do too.
but I don't know about the most.
Is there a state that's known for growing pumpkins, like Nebraska and corn and Idaho and potatoes and stuff like that?
Just
Like,
think
is
of
it,
your resellers or YouTubers who have the biggest pumpkin head shapes and wherever they're from, right there.
so me then?
I didn't want to say it.
You didn't want to. You just.
I
I'm
didn't want
sitting
to say
right here when you said
it. I
that.
just had to direct it directly to
My
you.
head is shaped like a peanut M&M. It's like the perfect. It
I
really is.
know. I'm seeing you as the yellow M&M,
I
the
could
fun
do.
one, the
I have
peanut.
no. I have no neck. It's just- every state grows pumpkins. Gotcha.
Well, if you think about it, if you don't have a neck, then you won't have neck problems.
True. It's true.
Haha. Colorado has the best water. I'll
Here
have to
in
find out
town,
some.
Illinois. That's where they grow pumpkins. I mean, I'm just like every straight. A lot of states grow corn too, but then like Nebraska's like the corn husker state.
I want to go up to. I want to go up your way next year.
You're gonna come up to Colorado?
Yeah,
I don't. You know what? I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. But you should.
I do. I also want to go to the 127 in those events. I honestly didn't know about these events until recently. Again, when the reason why I don't know about them is because I was working at the time. I missed out on some information, and not until jumping in the live chats myself, learning from it, I got a lot of information from people from what's going on, especially recently. But it's usually like when it's happening. And for me, my wife has vacation days here and there, so as soon as she knows they're available, we're already planning. Like November. November will be out in Hawaii. I can't wait to go back.
Oh, that's yeah. That
Yeah,
you
for,
just messed that up.
for Thanksgiving. I know people say, "Hey, don't tell people because they could go out and rob you," and that's the kind of people you are. Just know that I got friends that got pew pew pews over here,
Pew pew.
and we don't leave any evidence. Just ask the guy that they can't find for about 5 years. You know what I mean? All right, Cheryl, take it easy. Good night. Thank you for coming through, being part of the squirrel community with you and Kristen. I love seeing y'all both in the live chats.
Another
Makes my
cryptid
day.
in the house. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going back. I just don't like thinking about the driving this right now. All the driving. I'm sure in a year from now I won't care, but right now I'm like, man, I don't want to go back because that was a lot of driving. But I'm sure a year from now, like, oh, let's go. It's time to go to 127 Lincoln Highway sale.
Well, Chris was saying that one of the days he was with y'all, might have been with you, but y'all, as in some resellers over there, he was like, yeah, he didn't leave until midnight, and then, or he
Yeah,
got to his place until midnight, and then he woke up like at 5 to head back out.
that was the whatnot sale the one night, and then the next morning we got up really early because there's a time change right by where we were at, and so we had to leave extra early because of the time change.
Ken said Illinois grows the most pumpkins.
Hey, thanks. I missed that answer.
Just remember, folks, that S is silent.
Illinois. What? Oh, I drove through Missouri for the first time ever, and I didn't know I went through Illinois for a little bit when I was driving. I didn't even know I would. Who, Dave?
Yeah. What's I wanted to laugh earlier because you're making fun of him, but Mikey made fun of him too. Mikey, if you haven't seen Mikey Bags of Money recent video, he found some turtles and he made a height reference comparison.
I'm like so out of it that I just realized that's Kevin right there.
Who?
Garage Sale Nation, that's Kevin.
Is that correct? I just realized that too.
He changed his name. Come on, Kevin.
I know. I was like, I'm not accepting anybody into the Facebook right now.
I'm sorry. Like I know all
too,
about
Kevin.
that, and I forgot he changed his YouTube channel to Garage.
We didn't say anything bad about him. I wanted to, but something was like, "Don't do it." The YouTube chat gods was like, "Don't do it, Sonny."
That's
hey, are you following Garage Sale Nation? Do you follow it
on Facebook?
Yep.
I'm a big deal. I'm a moderator in there.
Oh,
so watch out! Watch what kind of information you're putting on there, bud.
You know who else is a moderator on there?
That guy? Look at
That guy. Yeah, and Shay, we were talking about it the last time she was on there. I was like, that's cool, man. And people, I'll tell you this: it's probably the fastest growing Facebook site I've been able to witness, and
Yeah.
it has to do a lot with being a moderator. You get the notices of like somebody's trying to be a part of your crew, and I'll be honest, some people are not following the rules, so I'm like, nope, deny. But I try to tell them to clean up some things because some things are not about what Kevin wants on there. You know, it's like, hey, I'm trying this garage sale on this thing is like, you know, the sites are specific to what they want to do and show people, and I make sure I follow them.
Yeah.
There's very few people I deny, but the ones that have the information is just not put together better. I'll message them because you could do that as a moderator.
Yeah.
And rather than just denying it, it's like, why? And you tell them, okay, cool, thanks.
I mean,
I never got a thank you, but they come back fixing it up.
Yeah. I'll tell you what,
Hey,
you're
Chris.
right. Like every time I go in there, there's so many new people, you know, requesting and you know requesting to join.
Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, I wouldn't have known that until what you got together, and I was like, man, I try to think about myself at times, like, what are some things that isn't there, you know, that's needed. And I think that's one of the biggest things is the garage sale nation. It's not just because it's you, Kevin, maybe a little bit, but it's like one of those things is where it's like, man, yeah, there's the garage sale apps, but not these huge events. And I think because of the popularity that's going to go towards them with things like this and how people get together and communicate, more of this would happen. I would like Vegas to do it. I just now realized recently when it was a little too late of like community garage sales, but I'm seeing more of statewide and town sales. You
And
know,
I'm actually interested to see because it was something he talked about how there's and you know the West Coast and the West side of the country we got to step up because there's you know
step it
I've
up.
actually been trying to research a little bit because there's not a lot, but there's also just not a lot of sales. Yeah, I need some more out west. There's not a lot of sales. It's hard because like I've been to some community sales that would meet the criteria, like literally hundreds and hundreds of
Hey,
sales
Mountain Brook.
community. But yeah, we need to step it up because there's not a lot of sales out west right now that are big highway sales or big city sales.
Oh.
And we got to represent, man. We have it's part of that feud that we have right now. Matter of fact, I have a feud with Kevin. It's a battle that's going on between the two podcasts. So. I'm just joking.
The only two podcasts I follow are YouTube podcasts, or yours and the other name we do not speak of.
Oh,
even though we've already said it like 5 times in this chat.
front range yard sales. Let's do it.
Oh, I seen your comment about stickers. So please tell me more. You got stickers?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got stickers. You need one? You need some?
I saw Chris talking about stickers. He has a really cool sticker. And then you said you have stickers, and I was like, I love stickers.
Yeah. I'll get you some. I mean, I'll be out there in October. I can bring you and hand them to you directly if you want.
Oh, and I'll finally give you your hat.
Hat?
Sir.
That's great, because that hat is sick.
I'm going to start doing that from now on. Every time I take off my hat, swing my hair.
Yeah, you have to. And like you should rub your and almost get like a what's his name voice from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Sound like a little bit like Keanu Reeves. Yeah, you got to do that.
Heard a big sale goes on in Palm Springs once a year. So how would you promote that off the top of your head? I got an idea for you, but what would you do to promote one of these big sales in your area to encourage people to get together? Because that'll help a lot of people, especially people.
I would definitely use the tool that Kevin has created. I mean,
which is
Garage Sale Nation Facebook group. But like, I think that first we have to create the sale because there's not really a sale. So that part I don't know. That's what me and Kristen we're gonna brainstorm and probably come up with nothing because I have no skills at stuff like that.
Social media is key when it comes to wanting the masses to see your information. Now you won't get as much people probably as the numbers of views that you get combined with comments, but you're gonna have people talking about it that could make it. You know, that's one of the key things is getting information out there. I would start if it's say your own 127, whatever you name it. I would create a page for it and keep bringing it up. You know, but reaching out to people and have it far ahead long enough that you could get the information out.
A 287. What's the 287? That's not something that already exists. You're saying that's what we should call it? I'm not sure. I could see like a citywide sales, like different cities out here.
You might just learn something.
And invite the YouTubers and they will come. That's. I'm gonna invite Sonny out here, and we'll have a community sale.
I think we should get Bucky's mascot to show up. From what I've seen in the video, that they kept talking about Bucky's.
That's a great idea.
You know, you try to get a mascot to show up.
I got some of those beaver nuggets upstairs right now. Those things are pretty good, pretty addictive.
I've never had them, but I hear good about them.
Yeah, they're really good. That's something, man. If you live by a Bucky's, you should be flipping stuff from in there.
I've sold a handful of Bucky's stuff.
Like this is bad, but the amount of inventory that they have at that Bucky's, that like in Crossville, you could just list a lot of the stuff and not actually buy it, and then if you sell something, run down to Bucky's, buy it, and ship it, because they have plush everywhere. The nuggets are everywhere. Like you could list it, and then if it sells, run down to the store and go buy it and ship it.
That's a good idea.
Advice if you guys live by a Bucky's. I'm just saying. I told myself if I lived here, I'm just gonna just set it on the shelf, snap a picture of it, and go home. Snap a picture, list it, and go home without buying it. Terrible, but
I would say put some love into it too. You know? Put some love into that mile long sell, or however long it's going to be. Yeah. Really put some love into it with information, maybe even a design, you know, something that stands out. One thing about social media, folks, too, not just YouTube, a lot of people and companies try to go to these websites, and you don't need a big fancy $3,000, $1,000, $500. You don't have to hire somebody to have a web page. You could have a free web page, like web links or whatever it's called. I used to have one, and I used to do this daily blog that, because there's blogs where you write and then there's blogs where you record. So I used to do a daily one when I was more into being an artist of character illustrations and comics, and I would get quite a bit of views. I just ended up stopping it because we moved and I just forgot about it. But you could have a landing page that just has your information, even if it has the tail end of like cartel.com. You know, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a landing page, the information, the time, date, and frame. You could add the point of contact if you want to reach out. You know, if somebody has questions, have a separate email for that, so that way it doesn't get jumbled with your own personal one or your company one. It's super easy to use, you know, and ideas to use that. I would create a landing page. I would create the other accounts, everything, Twitter, TikTok, everything. I would have everything on there before somebody else does, and not do things one by one. And the reason why I say that, because when I started social media, I wish I had did what I'm saying right now. Get everything together, even though I have nothing for it. But when I have things to share, I don't have to worry about, man, somebody took my username. Like the one on my Instagram, there's a kid that has it that hasn't used it for years. So I had to put the Sunny Las Vegas. Right. And then my personal one is Sunny in Las Vegas, because I wasn't ahead of myself. I wasn't thinking ahead. So
yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't even know where to start. But that's good advice. That's Denver's such a big city, like, man.
But yeah, like Kevin said, you post it in there.
Yeah, that's awesome right there. I don't center around 4 churches. Yeah.
But this one's right off the bat, without reading the rest of it, which I will. Churches, flea markets. Ask if you could put a banner up. It doesn't have to be nothing crazy, but put it out there rather than just a couple of friends. It helps, but it helps having it actually somewhere, the information. And you could even run ads too. Ads on newspapers, people still buy them. I buy them. it's very, very, it's free to do.
Right.
Not free to do. It's very little cost to do.
Man, I don't know.
I
It's
can't believe.
it's I think the community sales make it hard because early on in the summer here, there's so many community sales that, again, like I said, are close to the size of, I mean,
Mhm.
and the thing is, they'll be like, if we could get them to organize, because there'll be
Mhm.
like 6 of them in one weekend, all on the north side. That would be I think that would be the way to start, is to try to see if, introduce them to the Garage Sale Nation Facebook group and say, hey, you guys should come together. We could promote what you guys are doing as hey, we could promote you guys all together as a city sale instead of individual community sales, and bring more people from out of town to your sales and using the tool. That's not the worst idea right there. Reach out to each individual community and see if they'd be interested. I might be onto something and I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey,
Oh.
it sounded good. It sounded good. No, I'm not. All joking aside, talk to the chamber. Yeah, because I would think they'd be intrigued by the possibility.
Got me.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Prices, I would say a few months ago here at more than anything Goodwill, their prices were crazy. Like Levi's pants missing the left or right leg, automatic 19.99 just because of a Levi's tag. Ruined, missing the crotch, missing pockets, but there's a Levi's tag on there that somebody threw on a faded glory pant trying to get 19.99 for it. But recently it's been dropping. They've been dropping prices really good. But some things they're actually changing. But I'm seeing in other people's videos that they're doing that in other places, and they're run by different people. There's different mindsets that go into Goodwills, and they change often. I wish they would give things time, but I'm glad this is one where it didn't take too long for prices to actually be within the customer's favor. Whether it's for me or not, is just some prices are like, come on, seriously.
yeah,
But they're not going to find everything. And for me lately, since I've been going to flea markets, I haven't been going to thrift stores as much. So,
right.
and if it's not within my price range, I'm not going to buy it. Somebody will eventually, maybe or not.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a bad idea. I might have to do some research.
Yeah, you would have to think about parking, you know,
Yeah,
things like that. But you should do it. Do it. Do it.
yeah. That's right. I just tell them there's tourists and that the money that they'll spend, then like, it's just like I can't even. It's a different. That's the one. The big city difference is there's no. You don't have to. Out there in Ohio, is turn off and drive a quarter of a mile till you get to the sale. Here, you turn into the community and you drive a quarter of a mile and you hit 7 sales. It's just the big difference, and then you don't have to drive far. You can get out and walk the community sales here. And so I guess there's just
I don't know.
they have a website. There's a website from the 127. Yeah, I was looking at, and Crystal's she's starting a cheer.
Danny NICHE Lady just text. Live streaming tomorrow, folks, at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're on the east side, that's 4 for you, right?
What time on?
1 my time, so that's
That's
For your time?
no 2 my time. I'm only an hour out of you.
Oh, hour ahead.
Yeah. All right. I should be home by then. What do I got? I got something else I'm doing after yard sales tomorrow. I don't remember.
Mikey and Carrie will be there. Mikey begs the money. I'll think about it. I'll think about it, Danny.
I'll give it a thought or two.
Actually, I should. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go because I'll have enough time to be back by 4 to cook for my wife. I like to cook for her most of the time.
I do some cooking here or there. Not a lot. Not as much as I used to.
What do you consider cooking? Sonia, are you in here? What
Hey,
is
hey now, I taught Sonny how to cook. He knows it. I'm a decent cook.
I'm just waiting for a plush to fly across your screen.
She's not down here, or else I'd be. Hey, she's a good cook now, but when I met her, she didn't know how to cook at all. Believe it or not. I taught her how to cook.
Oh.
I've been cooking for myself since I was 11 years old, man.
I think we struck a nerve here, folks.
Hey,
Tell us about your cooking. Cooking, barbecuing, a mixture of both.
Yeah, no, cooking on the stove. But, I don't know. I'll make some tacos, and I'll make some spaghetti, and I'll make I don't know. I'll make chili beans.
I wanna learn how to make a good chili.
I make chili beans like Western chili beans. I make that. I'll make some.
Speaking my language.
Yeah, I'm a decent cook. I mean, breakfast. I'll make eggs. I'll make fried potatoes. I'll make pan. Yeah, I know how to cook.
What is the, I guess, the fanciest meal you've made? Not the basic stuff, but something.
I mean, nothing too fancy. Yeah.
Kimberly, you got my email. Please send me your recipe. Doesn't be the exact one, I don't want to be a copycat, but I am going to try your carne guisada method.
I make a fantastic pork adobo.
Pork adobo?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you're here, we will test it. I am very fond of pork adobo. My wife cooks it. She just made some.
I probably can't compete with what she makes, but I make a pretty good pork adobo.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Reseller cook-off.
Can I be a judge?
Well, I think.
Where do I sign up to be a judge?
Other than Dave, who has to use the kitty stove, one of the kitty stoves, because it's at his level, I think he would be my. I don't know. Dan Kimberly here has talked to me about food and comments and stuff, so I think she'd definitely kick my butt. But I think I would beat Dave. If you haven't seen his cooking videos, go see his videos. I like him.
Yeah,
he does try.
Derek, or they just said who makes the best. Now I cannot bake because you have to be able to use a measuring cup, and
we can't count. I eyeball everything
into this and a splash of that. It's never a measuring cup.
And butter tarts
out here in Colorado,
I love.
You even have to adjust for the altitude. So no, it ain't happening for me. I do not. I've tried baking one cake and it was a total disaster, and I haven't tried ever baking again since then.
So I found this mold, not mold like black mold, but a mold of a caterpillar. It's for it's supposed to be for cornbread, but with molds, what's pretty cool when they have like dimensions to them, like faces and features. You could use them for Jello too, and I've done that. It came out pretty cool because it was like a caterpillar Jello mold. Like it's only half of the body, so it looks like it's kind of like going around. But I also tried making what it's meant for, I guess, the cornbread. But it was pretty heavy, so I gotta tweak my cornbread. My brother back in the day, he hasn't cooked it lately, but as kids, he would always make a jalapeno cheese cornbread. It was so good, so good. Jeez, brisket tamales. I've never had brisket tamales. Pinji out in Anaheim, California. I hate cooking. I used to hate cooking until it's like, I don't know. I wanted to show my taste buds some love.
I like a brisket breakfast taco. That's pretty good.
Breakfast tacos.
It's a Texas thing. You're from Texas. Breakfast tacos.
Well, for me growing up, I didn't grow up off of putting rice and like fillers in your tacos. It was either like your carne guisada, which we're known for, or refried beans with bacon, potato and egg. But everything was in a flour tortilla. When I
Right.
ended up going to Hawaii, they're like, "Hey, you want one of these like monster burritos?" And I'm like, "Man, that sounds amazing." And all of a sudden, it's like 75% rice, and I'm like, "What the hell is this? This goes on the side, you bums! It's for lazy people."
So
But I
now
ordered two of them.
my taste buds are what I go by. Now I understand traditional stuff and traditional food, but when I was in Texas and Sonia's brother introduced me to breakfast tacos, and I was like, "Here we go. What's a breakfast taco?" I was like,
Yeah,
"Get out of here with that mess."
get
Uh,
out of here.
my taste buds said, "Amazing, amazing," and they are great. And they're not traditional at all. You got potatoes and egg and brisket and some peppers in there chopped up. Amazing though. My taste
Smacking my
buds don't
lips.
lie to me. Maybe you don't call it a taco, but it's in a flour tortilla, so it works for me.
If it's in a tortilla, it's a taco. Automatic. That's the whole point.
Yep.
Canadian friend here says resellers having a potluck. Can I come too? Everybody's welcome.
That's
Everybody.
it. Party at Sonny's house.
Party at the Niche Lady's house. I'll tell her when we all get there.
He's making tacos, folks. He's making tacos.
Kimberly said, "Sonny, you make designs. You got to make some tees like the one at the flea market." Oh, the mild salsa. Yeah, that was an awesome T-shirt. If you haven't seen the video, just watch the whole thing. You know, it helps me out. But the T-shirt had a T-Rex. He's not holding the taco truck, but he's biting the taco truck, and it's like yelling the bubble thought. I said mild salsa. Just a T-Rex to be that sensitive to care about mild salsa. You know, like I just thought it was funny and everybody laughed. But I'm glad people were enjoying it too in the video. I'll see if it's still there, Crystal, especially with that stitch work, that cross stitching stuff. I've tried cross stitching; it's really hard. It's not easy. It's easy for some who got it, but it's the top side. Have you ever tried cross stitching?
No.
Or hand embroidery. So you may think like after a few minutes, like, man, I got this down. It's not that hard. But when you flip it over underneath, oh man, it's a thread massacre. Knots everywhere, loops out of place. And I'm like, man, I thought I was on a roll, but no, it's hard.
I'd probably like tie my fingers together and stuff and end up with something like wrapped around my ear, and I'd be a mess. I would be like, someone would walk in there, I'm like, what in the world are you doing? I'm cross stitching.
I cross stitched my finger.
Crafting. No, you're not. No,
DIY. DIY end of story would be how to get yourself to the emergency room. Biscuit butt. When I first saw your username, Biscuit Butt, I immediately saw a butt in the shape of biscuits, the dried up biscuits, like a little pushed in, a little wrinkly, and I'm like, that is funny for me. I got imagination. Says I can make a mean hot pocket. I was tempted the other day to make a hot pocket, but then realized I had some chimichangas and craving the chimichangas that we ate with Mikey and the whole crew from our recent video. Angel here actually picked it, him and Crystal, these two right here, these two lovebirds. And that place is amazing. Jimmy, when you come down, I hope I remember and I hope we get to go there because their chimichangas were bomb. They were good. And it's in a casino out of all places. I was like, it's going to be all right. The place is awesomeness.
Yeah, I love Mexican food. Love it. Love it.
I have
I'm
watched.
down for that.
My brother is a sushi stuff. Oh, I love sushi. Now, who likes sushi but cooks sushi? I eat both, but mainly the raw sushi. Unless you're allergic.
What's tempura? Is that the
Tempura is usually just the Japanese breaded panko, just a fried vegetable or meat or some type of protein.
I've tried sushi. My story on sushi is it looks amazing. And then I try it. and it's not amazing.
Not all places know how to make sushi properly.
So
I'll say that.
I've had sushi that was really really good that I could eat. I don't want to say I really enjoyed it, but I could eat it because it wasn't. But like sushi that's not good or not great,
Yeah.
I can't even eat it. So
Oh,
that's so I could tell the difference. Like this was really good sushi, and I was able to actually eat it, but I don't think I enjoyed it that much.
yeah. Well, Crystal was telling us when we all ate together after the flea market. She doesn't eat crab or shellfish, right? And I was like, okay, why don't you just take off the shell? Like, problem solved, you know?
Huh.
She looked at me like freaking knucklehead. Angel laughed and then he looked over and he like that wasn't funny, but it was funny. I was cracking up. Andy makes some great poke. Some people say pokey. I say poke. If you ask Google how do you pronounce it and it gives you, it's gonna say pokey. Just like lychee. Some people say lychee. Lychee.
What's
Just
that?
it says cool little fruit like this. It looks like a sea urchin, but it tastes really amazing. It got some seeds in it, but nothing crazy. Could get some bartenders make a really good lychee drink, but sometimes it's just artificial flavor. So you got to ask them if you ever come across lychee, Lyche, I believe, maybe two e's. But if they offer that, say, is this real lychee or is it like a flavored imitation type thing? You could try it. Some of them are good, but when you had the real stuff, you got to stick to the real.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
Katsu.
Like
Chicken katsu, pork katsu,
it's a little
beef katsu. Now, have any of y'all ever had meat jun? Some people say mijan. That's pretty good stuff. It's like an egg over meat and other things. It could be over other things. But is the trick with meat jun is trying to get the egg to stick to the meat or whatever protein you're having. It's really nice. Out here in Hendo, bluefin is good. I've never tried bluefin. I don't know what to think about it. Check out the menu of I Love Sushi Restaurant. You will laugh. We're gonna have to go try some sushi sometime, Angel. Yeah, lychee is fantastic.
I'll have to try it.
Kimberly, yes and no. She's kind of like me. Not Spanglish. I don't know what the word is for it, but she understands it really good. I understand Spanish, but she doesn't speak it fluent. Sometimes you might think she does, but in deep conversations, no. Now my mother-in-law, she speaks several dialects of the Filipino language: Tagalog, Ilocano, Visayan, and then another one. And I can't remember the other one. I can't remember the fourth one, but fluent too. And she learned that from working. She also knows how to make sushi too. I love not sushi really, but it's kind of like Hawaiian style sushi. The musubi, which people when I was out in Idaho, Twin Falls, Idaho, people were saying like, "What is that black thing that you're eating?" And it was seaweed over rice and spam. A musubi. She covers her whole musubi, but usually people just have like a strip to where you could still see the rice and kind of like a layered type of rice spam cake. It's delicious. She makes them amazing. Omar, welcome back, amigo. There is a Middle Eastern grocery store that has fresh lychee. Oh, nice. You know what I like? That's hard to find here is the Korean pears, but also I think the Korean grapes. If you haven't, I would say when you're trying to find particular things, open yourself to places that you're not used to going, and giving your taste buds some loves, like Korean spots, grocery stores, like things that are catering to these different cultures. Man, there is some amazing food out there. Amazing food. Save equals sell. Gotcha. Love musubis. You guys have a Kuro revolving sushi bar in Vegas. I haven't been to the Kuro one, but I've been to a handful of them. But they end up they sell to other people and then they change the menu and then they ruin it. And then after a while they finally give. And by that time you're trying other places. Places are hit or miss here. But I love sushi. My wife likes to cook sushi. I like the raw sushi. I eat both, but that's it. Oh my God, my husband has been trying to sneak spam into our house since we met. I told him, no, sir. Is it because it's processed? Spam is amazing. In Hawaii, they're like the capital of spam, I'm going to say. They have a spam festival. But in Don Quixote, which is known as DI, I don't know why it's not DQ, but DI, they have spam like peppered spam, spicy spam, jalapeno spam, like all types of spam. And I love that they're getting all these different types of spam stuff. But I don't see that the different versions or variants here like that. Folks, it is 2:05 and Jimmy got some work ahead of him, so do I.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I
11 to ship.
Yeah, now I am hungry. I didn't eat earlier when I woke up, but I'm going to eat now. And I got a couple of orders that came in while we were talking. So thank you to the good luck to the people coming in that brought in those sales. I hope you're getting some too. If you don't get it listed, you can't make it chain. Jimmy, you got any information for us?
Yeah. What was it? No, I don't actually. No. No,
Yeah, no, I don't.
I'm gonna be information as far as what I got going on. I mean, I got a lot of videos that are going to be dropping from 127 and the Highway 30 up in Ohio that will be coming out every Sunday and Thursday. I might even drop an extra one because I got a lot of footage. I'm gonna be on with Ray also coming up on some that he's working on. I don't know if he's dropped the details on that yet.
Ooh, it's
But
sneaky.
that's in the works too.
Oh,
With
folks, sorry to cut you off.
Oh,
I had every intention of bringing this up earlier, but as you know, we get caught up in conversations and talking to one another. There's a gentleman in here, another reseller that I got to meet in person and have been following him online. Very good gentleman. His also name is Jonathan, like this guy. But the other person is J6 Flips. His sister's going are fighting cancer, stage 4, I believe I read it right, and they are trying to raise some funds. I have that link down in the description. Anything helps, and if you can't give anything, say financially, please just look up the link and share it on your page wherever you can. A little goes a long way, folks, and for something like that, that hits close to home. A little story about when I met my wife, and this is what it immediately reminded me of. My wife said she had a lump in her chest, and at the time they didn't know what it was. She got it removed at a very young age, so that's something always cautious on me. I haven't had any like any direct family, but I've had very close friends who are like family to me fight cancer and breast cancer and all types of stuff. So when I see stuff like this, I couldn't just share it on my Instagram, and I told them that I would share it. So if you check it out, J6 Flips is down in the description, and that's just part of the community. Like I said, I want to be in. It's not just about me. It's not just be entertaining and teach you something, but also help hopefully make a difference, big or small. It goes a long way. So yeah. Sorry, Jimmy. I just didn't want to forget. Yeah.
that I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you
Yeah.
brought. Yeah, I wouldn't want you to forget that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot going on. I'm going to be doing my podcast and yeah.
Make sure to follow their podcast, folks. Very, very good. Kelly Luis Reseller here does have podcasts on Spotify. And then I just noticed Ray National Flippers also has a podcast.
Mhm.
Folks, there are opportunities to be made. You just got to apply yourself to it. You really do. You know,
Podcasts are a lot of fun, and I actually really enjoyed listening to a bunch of them while driving. It really
Yeah.
made the driving a lot easier.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the time or the maps, like how long till I get there. I was just listening, and I would look down like, oh, it's been an hour since I looked over there to see what time it is and stuff. So
Yeah. Jimmy, before we go, have you ever had local moco?
I know I have not.
So when I went to Hawaii, and knowing the Spanish that I know, and I saw the people were like, "Hey, you got to try the loco moco," and I'm like, I do not want none of that.
Yeah,
Because when you translate it into
yeah,
English, what is it, Jimmy? Yeah,
yep,
not just a booger; it's a crazy booger.
yep.
And I was like, I respect cultures and what they're going and got to survive off of, but I'm more of like a fast food person. I am far beyond a caveman. So for years I didn't try it, and one day somebody bought one that I was with, and they had it, and I was like, "What is that?" And they're like, "That's a local moco." And I was like, "Oh my god! Like I wish somebody would have told me this before." So I ended up trying it. It's not what I thought it was. Different translation, different meaning, and we learn something every day. I hope you enjoy myself and Jimmy. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Stay tuned for more information. Also, check out the stuff in the description as well. Like I said, J6 Flips. Follow Jimmy here, his podcasts, and as well as each other. I hope you enjoy each other as well. Thank you for your company. You make it a lot of fun, and I appreciate every one of you. Stay tuned for tomorrow at 1. Mikey or Danny, the Niche Lady, will be live, and more than likely, I will be there. I just know I got to get some stuff listed. I'm really trying to grind down on things I don't want to show you on this side of the room. I'll show you when it's listed. Folks, take it easy. Thank you, and see you next time.
Good night, everybody.